Are you a new EMT suffering from imposter syndrome? Well, I got a comment the other day from a brand new EMT that's going from volley to paid, and they said that they're battling imposter syndrome, right? And they wanted to know what seasoned paramedics would actually be expecting from their partners, right? So first off, if that's you, I want you to know you're not broken and it's not your fault that you feel like this, right? Hold on, let me fix this camera. All right. So every single one of us that is out here and has done this for any amount of time has been there. And the fact that you are worried about it, to me, means that you care. And that's super important, and I can't teach that, right? And that's the sign of somebody that's already on the right track, like I think you are, right? So I read a book called The Imposter Cure a while back, and there's a quote in there that I'm going to paraphrase, and it said something to the effect of, feeling like a fraud isn't proof that you are one, it's proof that you're human. And that hit me because that's exactly what most rookies go through. And I went through the same thing as a rookie EMT and as well as a rookie paramedic. So let's talk about what's going on in your head and how to deal with those fears. And what paramedics really hope to see from a new EMT, and I'll tell you, as having worked in operations and having EMTs come through, is I'm going to say, if you're here, that's a big step you've already taken in joining this line of work, because most people don't want to rush into emergencies and when other people are losing their minds and everybody is running out. So that's a huge step that you've taken, and it's a dream worth pursuing and protecting, right? And you don't have to be perfect at the onset, right? Nobody's ever perfect, right? So nobody expects you to save the world in your first month. What medics want is simple, right? Show up ready, on time, early, learn fast, and be dependable, right? Just off the top of my head, those are some things, right? And that's the big picture that most rookies don't see, right? And if you stick with this profession, if you embrace the grind and you keep progressing and learning, it can open doors for you that you never imagined, right? And so for me, that path started like you, as an EMT, and I stayed on. And then, of course, I became a paramedic, went to paramedic school. And then that has given me an opportunity to serve as a SWAT medic, a flight medic, to go on USAR deployments, and obviously work in the field and make a ton of difference, a world of difference in a lot of people's lives over my 22 years in fire rescue, right? So, and it all started by being a brand new EMT, feeling the exact same way that you are right now. Okay. And like I said, we've all experienced it. So don't quit on yourself. Your future could be bigger than you realize. And I would love to hear from you a year from now and see where you're at. Now, about that fear in your chest and that little, that voice, that whisper that you hear saying that you don't belong here, or what am I doing here? In that book, the author states that those feelings and those thoughts, while you keep them inside, they're very strong. But once you acknowledge it and you speak it, right? When you speak them out loud, they lose their power. And that's why I respect the fact that you asked here about it and how to work through it, right? And you took the first step, right? So remember, every EMT, every medic, every SWAT officer, anybody that's worked in a high level position has heard that same voice at some point. And I'll tell you, I felt it on my first needle decompression, all right, straight out of paramedic school. As a newly minted paramedic, you know, I thought I had it all down, and I'm riding on a box. Obviously, I'm in the fire department, and riding on a box, and we get a call, and it was a motorcyclist that hit a car broadside. The guy on the motorcycle went flying. We roll up. He's on the floor, obviously. We pick him up, put him on the stretcher, get him in the truck. And if you're familiar with orthopedic injuries, They're very distracting. His radius ulna was a mess, and he was gasping for air. And I was trying to splint the fracture, and I was all focused on the fracture, and I didn't pick up on his gasping for air, and he wouldn't sit still. He was trying to get up and gasping, and then my partner at the time, who had been on that very busy rescue truck, she put a 3¼ inch needle, 14 gauge, in front of my face, and I looked at it, and I'm sure this was a very short amount of time, but when you're tunneled like that, there's that time warp where everything slows down. She put that in my face, and I remember thinking, well, that's a really large gauge needle for an IV. And then she went like this, and then I guess I saw the big picture, and then I saw what was going on. He needed to be decompressed. And, she helped me through it and guided me through it, and I was successful. And then afterwards, you have that feeling of, you don't know whether to be excited, scared, whatever, and you get through that first thing, right? Like your first tube, your first decompression IV, whatever it is. But I remember thinking, man, did I do the right thing by becoming a paramedic? I mean, I can't believe I just graduated from paramedic school, just took the test. I'm a brand new medic. I should have all this in my mind, and I almost missed it. I did miss it, and she had to remind me, and I got through it. So in that moment, I realized two very important things. Number one, I wasn't as sharp as I thought in paramedic school. And number two, I had people there to catch me when I missed something, right? So that's the team effort. And that's why you can't beat yourself up, and mistakes and misses don't make you a fraud. They make you a student of the craft, and you should always be a student of your craft for as long as you're in it, right? And students get better with every call. And here's the truth. EMS throws you into the deep end very fast. One call is a sprained ankle, and the next one you have somebody trapped in a car with compartment syndrome fighting for their life, right? So it's very quick, and nothing in a school or a scenario is going to prepare you for that. And feeling behind isn't because you're weak. It's because the job moves faster, like I said, than the textbooks could ever prepare you for. And that is not your fault. It's not your fault. That's just the nature of the work. And you just have to be out here running the calls and get used to it, right? And that's why seasoned medics don't expect you to know everything off the rip. And what they do expect is honesty, effort, all right, and the right attitude, which we can't train. You can't train the right attitude, right? And so here's where your paramedic partner will be looking for, because it's what I look for, right? So be squared away, get there early, get your gear prepped, and look sharp in your uniform, all right? Because that says professionalism, right? Have scene awareness, right? Have awareness of what's going on and anticipate what's coming next, what that medic is going to need next, and what you need to be doing. And be teachable, right? Know, ask questions. If you don't know, own up to it. If you mess up, own it, right? And above all else, attitude, right? Like I said, you can be the greatest practitioner. You have a horrible attitude, that's terrible, right? So if you do those four things, you're already ahead of half of the rookies that don't have your attitude, right? So here's the truth. Imposter syndrome is not a sign that you're failing or falling behind. It's a sign that you care and that you're learning, right? And just keep showing up, keep learning, and a year from now, you're gonna look back. You're gonna look back and realize how far you've come in this line of work, right? So if you're a new EMT, a new paramedic, or even somebody that's been out there doing it for a while, let me know in the comments what you found coming out of EMT school and paramedic school to be the hardest thing learning in the field, and what took you by surprise compared to what the school and classes prepared you for, right? I love hearing from you guys in the comments and getting different perspectives from those of you out there, because we're all doing the same thing out here. We're all trying to save lives. And with that, I leave you. And remember, the time chooses you. So stay frosty. Peace.